Hello, everyone, and welcome back to what is quite possibly the end of Baldur's Gate 2. So, when we left off last time, I'd gotten a bit stuck on the possibly final boss fight with a Melisande, and so I kind of rolled back to before going into this final fight through here to kind of do a little bit of prep work, make sure I actually enter the fight with appropriate resources and whatnot. And I also did do a little bit of test running, and it seems to have gone okay. I didn't go kind of any further than we already saw on stream last time, up to the third phase of Amelisan's fight. And I have overhauled some of our buffs and stuff. So, big things I noticed, but also things which probably are not going to matter too much, is I ended up slapping protection from poison, protection from cold, and protection from evil on everyone in the party. Now, unfortunately, I don't think that's going to matter very much, because she immediately casts Remove Magic and strips all of our buffs off. So we do have some extra casts of Protection from Evil. All of my mage's first level spells are just been replaced with Protection from Evil, so we can get some more casts of that up. And they'll at least make her have to remove magic on us. Now, very unfortunately, even if we do have this buff up, the various demons she summons are not actually summoned demons, so the special effect of Protection from Evil does not function on them, which is tragic. However, I'm quite certain they are evil creatures, so at least we'll be slightly more defensive with this. Now, the protection from cold, protection from poison, we cannot readily replicate, because we only had a limited amount of scrolls of those, and just getting the first round of buffs up on everyone used them all. And those are scroll spells rather than cast spells. So once those get removed, we are unfortunately out of those buffs. The main strategy for the fight, I think we'll be going with, you can see I've also put Ren on everything protection for magical weapons. They can help tank for us. But the big thing is we'll be relying on summons. Some Mordkainen's swords, especially from Nira here, she's just going to be summoning swords. But one of the big things is summon Plaintar. The Plaintar tanks surprisingly well with its really high regen. It can go toe-to-toe with a Melisande for quite a while. So M1 will just be trying to keep those up, and hopefully, all this combined, we can manage to chew through her. She's immune to all elemental damage, so a lot of our other big spells, Comet, Dragon's Breath, Energy Blade, just don't accomplish much of anything. I never tested out Imprisonment, but I very much doubt that would work, and even if it does work, it doesn't actually defeat her, so we'll just need to free her and then try to fight her anyway afterwards. Abby Dazim's Hard Wiltings are good for getting rid of her summons. Let's see what else. Various Breaches, which can help get through Stone Skin, which she puts up on herself. Improved Invisibility does not seem to accomplish very much, but she does sometimes cast True Sight, so if I can get her to cast True Sight instead of something more destructive, that's good. Same deal with the Mirror Images probably. If the mages have Mirror Image up, she might spend time to remove the illusions, in which case that's time she's spent doing something other than attacking us. Let's see, anything else worth mentioning? I do not particularly think so. Jaheira, I did not really mess around with her spells as much. She's mostly just going to be fighting melee and fighting the summons. So, that's the other thing. We have some scrolls in preparation. Went ahead, spent all of our remaining cash on some Raised Dead scrolls and some Restoration scrolls. So, if we do end up level drained and don't have the Plaintar up to cast Restoration on us, we can get our levels back if that's really necessary. I'd prefer to avoid it though, because these scrolls do make the caster fatigued, and we cannot remove fatigue in any way once it's up on this fight. The big thing though, these Raised Dead scrolls. Person drops to 1 HP, but that is better than having their stats decreased, which Jaheira's Harper's Call would do. We can have up to 6 people die and get them back up over the course of this fight. And without further ado, I think that's about it.
Hello.
Oh, onto a Melisande. Let's see how this goes.
Okay.
Saspinar is good servant. Oh, yes.
Yes, you are, Saspinar. Through the gate, people. There we go. I'm ready. It is time for the end.
Ooh, shiny ones.
As you step into the abyssal plane, the first thing that strikes you is how suddenly alien it feels. A chill wind sweeps across an empty void, screaming in your ears that you are not welcome here. Several strange towering structures are present, suspended in the void by an unknown power. All your immortal senses tell you, however, that the powerful essence of your dead father is close, and that this place is, indeed, the throne of Baal.
I see you have finally found your way to the throne of Baal. You should know, however, that you're far too late.
This part of the abyss was once your father's, and might have been partly yours, but it's mine now. Along with the essence of a god, this place is mine, to rule as I wish. I suppose everyone can have a dream, Melisande. I'm disappointed in you, Ren. So much bluster, so much force. How you have managed to blunder your way through the realms and not perish sooner, I have no idea. But it doesn't matter in the long run. You've served me well enough, and now it is time for your essence to be added back to my power. Okay. So, big trick we're going to be taking when fighting her, and when it's casting something, that's fine, is just rushing her down. Particularly using whirlwind strikes, trying to conserve these, make the most out of them, because they massively increase our DPS, and if we get on top of Melisande, and semi-reliably nuke her down. And on quick save, so let's just go for it. Okay, Mint, you're in position. Use one. Attack.
What do you wish?
Yep, Saravok, you're in position. Yeah, she summons some demons, but we'll just keep focusing her. Damage rush her down. Don't get distracted. Yeah, Ren taking some cold damage. Oh, confusion. Everyone gonna save. We all saved. Well done, crew. You can see our first hit coming in from Minsk. Ren still taking a bit of cold damage. Yeah, more hits coming in from our heavy hitters. Dum 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 dum. Yeah, Ren Stoneskin is holding up, just a chip elemental. She's down below half health. Another confusion coming down. The fact she summoned their Glabrezu rather than something else is bad, because they can confuse us, which, yeah, if it hits our melee folks, could potentially cost us the fight. Okay, confused one of our summons. That's what Imran was doing, just calling out a small summon. That is fine.
I should not be wasting time on you. I still have to absorb the Ballspawn essences, and there is more than enough power in this plane to keep you busy.
If you are wise, you will flee. Once I'm done with the essences, I will not hesitate to gather your own as well. There we go. And her summons disappear on her defeat. Okay, clean phase one. Clean phase one. So you're a bit confused, which I do not really like. we go. We managed to get a quick save in.
Uh-huh.
Now, Ren, your stone skin just lasted through that fight. That is good. And it didn't want to use any of your protection for magical weapon spells at this point. Wanted to save those, so that was a good use of that. Drink a potion too to get your health up when you get the chance. Okay, managed to move the Ogre's Berserker just a bit out of the way. Ren's passively regenning too, but I'd like to move a bit faster. Make sure buffs stay up as long as possible. Because for once, she did not immediately remove our protection from cold benefits, which is giving us a big bonus, because like 70% cold resistance, that's great. She hits for a lot of cold damage on her melee attack.
Sure thing.
So now, there'll be a band of powerful air elementals down here that we'll want to deal with. Now, I think if we just throw ourselves into melee, just the party, we should be able to conduct ourselves fine against these. See if we can just call a couple of them forwards. Yeah, particularly these vampiric buggers
Hello, can do.
are troublesome. Ren, you want to take point since you cannot be level trained.
You asked for it.
There we go. Wonderful. No need to restore anyone
No
yet.
problem.
But not quite so good.
Happy to help.
Apparently one went invisible
And
and
this?
snuck in. There we go. It's dead. And we're still using some of the low-level monster summoning spells. We can use these to pull some more enemies forwards.
Uh-huh. Consider it done.
Dog, go try and pull aggro. Okay. Look at that. Big ranged attacks coming in from the Prince of Air there. I'm assuming this is one of the elemental princes of air, the named elemental.
Victory! Unclear. Destruction! Sir. Whoops.
Kill you. Yeah. Simple fight, simple fight. So, for this next phase, when we activate it, she's going to immediately kind of knock the party back, stun everyone, which is not good when our strategy is running forwards and nuking her as quickly as possible. What we'll partially do to counter this is with these couple of summons, hopefully the agreement at least will last long enough. We'll get a couple of bigger summons out now. We'll get our first sword.
Name.
And when you can focus on getting our first planetar as well.
Armored, sharpened, live
Mince,
by the
you
sword,
stand ready.
Live a good long time.
And we just array these summons round behind her, like this. You might as well get a globe of blades up. Sure. Maybe it'll help. Oh, apparently that friendly fires. I wasn't anticipating that. Well, we have the good summons out at least.
Yes?
See, do I want to do a second Mordkin sword? I reckon we're probably fine for now. I don't want to go
Who says?
too many resources too
What?
early, because that's part of the problem with the first time round. And I don't know exactly how long this will be. Like, it might just be 4 phases, the first phase and one after each of these portals, but it might keep going. So let's quick save, Minsk, interact with this portal, disrupt the flow of souls. Cut off the pool's flow, stopping Melisande for the time being.
Enough! I have gathered enough essence to deal with you. I will wait no longer to end your pathetic life. Prepare to join your siblings.
Okay. Everyone, just attack her. She is going to... Yep, you can see Ren unconscious. Boom. Big hit back. But the Plantar will stay on location and fight. The sword hopefully should distract. More Glabreezu. She's being really annoying with the summons. That is. Ooh, rough. Yeah, Plantar is. Oh, and Plantar stunned? Wow, that was a bad engagement first time round.
Yep.
At least she's coming
Hello.
forwards.
My unholy rat.
Okay, Ren. Protection for magical weapons, you're tanking.
You point, I punch.
Minsk, second Greater Whirlwind attack. Cool, Saravok. Use your second. She's moving. I do not like that. Okay, and there. She finally dispelled effects. Now, luckily, the angel is in fact fighting off these demons quite effectively, which is nice. Come to your mistress, minions of the abyss, Death Tyrant. Let's just keep focusing on Melisande. Let's see, Death Tyrant is paralyzing Nira. I mean, not great, but Nira's also contributing not too much to direct damage. Oh, she got a Sunfire out, that's rough. Summons, try and deal with that thing if you can. Greater Melisande.
No! I'm too strong! Damn you! I must take more essence! I must have more power!
You know, you saw her little bark there, my power shall restore me. She failed to cast that, but I'm pretty sure that's her going for the full heal. And that's part of why you really need to keep the pressure on her. If you don't kill her fast enough, she does just heal herself back up to full every time. Back she goes to the central pillar. And now, a bunch of ice enemies are here to be fought. Interestingly, we can also see Cryonax.
What's up? You betcha.
Just briefly. Try and make the most of our summons for the second. Send them in to take point.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, stone skins and stuff got dismissed, so they're recasting those.
Okay.
Who calls Cryonax Prince
sure
of
thing.
Ice?
For the fallen!
Let's chop these things up best as we can. Plantar is, again, very, very strong.
I come in. Oh, for the love of Grumpy.
Jahira's taking a little bit of damage, just little chips off various old defensive effects.
Hello. What's up? Can do.
We'll just let the summons fight here for a second before we re-engage.
Gotcha good. With vengeance!
Come on, kill the Blizzard Troll. There it goes. Yep. Accidentally grabbed the window rather than clicking on
no
the game.
problem.
Okay. So now, in the next phase, this was the point we were getting stuck previously. Was Melisande spawns here, summons a bunch, then teleports away up to here, and then keeps summoning. And we couldn't trap her down, couldn't you? Because she kept getting time stops off from up here, throwing all sorts of big destructive spells. And I reckon the strategy I've settled on,
Need something?
get us past, is this is the point where we'll break out our spike traps. And just try and nuke her down and skip the phase completely. So hopefully 4 should get past. If that doesn't work, we still have a 5th in
Wrap
reserve.
down. Watch your feet. Traps down. Consider it done.
Yep, so spike trap, spike trap,
Traps down.
Spike trap.
Watch your feet. Traps down.
Spike trap.
Watch your feet.
and with 80 d6 damage, throwing straight in her face the moment she appears. Hopefully,
Good to go.
this should kill her immediately and skip this phase. Okay. A lot of damage.
Hi.
There we go. Perfect. Yeah, because that's where we're getting stuck. She would just summon more and more and more level draining shadows. One after the other after the other. Okay. And now, this is as far as I've seen. Like, this was air themed. This was ice water themed. So, probably another elemental theme up here, fire or earth. I'm not too certain what we're looking at, so quick saves about every 5 seconds from this point on. Should be defeated soon, Melisat.
Something else?
So, what do we reckon? Forward scouting with the summoned sword? That seems wise. Let's see, what can we bait forwards? Okay. A Marilith? Okay, Marilith is dealable. A Succubus, that is a bit worse. I don't like it when they take control of our units. Okay, whole lot of stuff. I think that was, yeah, another Marilith. Fallen Solar? An Alu Fiend. Not, okay, a bunch of big demons, devils, whatever. Okay, Fallen Solar is just killing a summon. Look at you. You're fancy. You have a cool bow.
Yep.
Which means we probably want to rush you.
Show me.
Zavok, you went down a bit of health so you can drink a potion.
What's up?
There's the Marilith. Oh, there's the Succubus, the Alu Fiend. Not great, not great.
Ready for anything?
Mages, if you could get reaches down on the 2 Mariliths. Get rid of their defenses. Target, yep, target you. Oh, brilliant hit, Serevok. Serevok did his 100 damage thing. Wonderful, nuke this down.
Uh-huh.
Your defenses are down. You need a stone skin, right? Casting failure, that is nice.
Yep.
Yeah, and then we probably want to leave the Malice alive, or we focus down the Succubi in the back so they can't take control of any of our units. Good, Succubus is dead.
Need something?
Brent, you keep chasing.
I await your command.
Oh, creature, and feed the earth!
You guys still engaging.
Yes.
Serevok, you're taking a little bit of a beating there. There, I think you might have got stone skins back up. There we go, we're managing to do some damage. One down.
What do you wish?
Oh, excellent unconscious. That was a stab from Mince with his spear. Knocked stuff out. There it goes.
Sarabok stands
Oh,
ready.
creature, and feed the earth!
Okay.
Hi. Yep, yep, yep.
Okay, that's everything here. So, how do we want to prep for this next phase?
Name right you are.
Getting a bit more health back. Let's burn one of our... You know what I'm thinking? Maybe let's call in... Yeah, you only last 3 turns, but I'm thinking summon woodland beings, get that woodland being to use its mass cure to get some of our health back, And then it can also stand and be a bit of an ablative shield for us in this final phase.
Ready and willing.
I reckon we get another planter out and another sword. Yeah. Another iron skin, since we keep burning through those. I don't like the fact that everyone has greater Malison. But I don't know how long that debuff lasts, and I can't really wait around. Like, because I have buffs that are ticking down as well. So. Yep, let's get
You betcha.
various summons ready and in position. Quick save before we do this. I'm assuming we're going to be back down here, so that's where I'll position the summons.
Something up?
Let's get your summons out first. Summon another plantar.
Happy to help. To try to help it.
Summon Mordganon's sword. Oh, that's right. I also have Nero able to summon dark plantars. You know, I don't think I've done that yet. Let's actually get 2 plantars out. Look at you. Okay, you seem to do more or less the same thing as the normal one. Symbol death, symbol fear, unholy word rather than holy word. There are a couple of sensible inversions like that, but you still have the healing and resurrection abilities and everything. Ah, you... Okay, we cannot summon 2 creatures. Did that waste... That did waste one of our charges. And that's why we put a quick save in. We'll just get, yeah, a Dark Planter out.
Yep.
And one of your swords. Now you, cool wooden beings.
Where Minsk goes,
Minsk, get in
evil
position.
stands aside.
Actually, it shouldn't be Minsk, it should be Ren, since Ren's on full health.
Okay.
We need Minsk around in order to take the heal from this.
Jump on my sword while you can, evil. I won't be as gentle.
Okay,
Yep.
let's try this.
Sure thing.
Cut off the pool's flow, stopping Melisande for the time being.
You are stronger than even I imagined. So, your destiny versus mine. Let's finish this now, once and for all. To the victor go the spoils!
And here we go.
Hello.
Everyone, run in. Let's see what sort of stuff you'll pull off for this phase.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Now, who are you going to be attacking?
Minsk and
You two.
stand.
Another Greater Whirlwind attack.
Yes.
Death Tyrant, fine.
Whoops.
Critical miss from Ren is a great way to start. A Sun Ray. Okay, Death Tyrant is targeting Nero with a Paralyze. Okay, we're dealing damage to her. So our effects were dispelled. Looks like Ren still has their stone skin up, which is nice. Who is Melisande dealing damage to? No one yet. Okay. Saving throws lowered again. We're through most of her health. Melisande is attacking Ren.
What's up?
Okay, Ren. Get... You know what? I reckon we'll get through her health before she can deal enough damage. So let's save up protection from magical weapons. Another good critical miss there from us. Death Tyrant paralyzing Imowen. Good save, Imowen. Flesh to stone on Jahira. That is not so nice. My power shall restore me. Okay, she's going... The nymph reckons it can mentally dominate a Melisande. For some reason I doubt that, but... Okay, anti-magic ray or near it, spell effects. Okay. Fourth phase down.
Enough, Amelisson. The gods have decreed this contest is over.
Hello again, Sola.
No! I am a god! This is not over until I say it is!
You are no god, priestess of Baal. You play with stolen energies that make you immortal, that give you great power. But that does not make you a god.
The false one has not won! I refuse to believe it! Oh, I would die first!
But you cannot die, so long as the essences are within you. Even now, however, they struggle to flee from your weakened frame. You are defeated, and destiny belongs to the victor.
No! No! I will kill you all!
You will do nothing, Amelisson, but accept your fate.
Is she actually
The
defeated?
time that was mentioned has come, godchild. There is a choice before you. You have prevailed against all that have assailed you, and now you must decide your fate.
I think we actually did it. We actually managed to bring her down. First try, too. I am quite impressed. Like, even in my couple of practice ones, I occasionally had to throw a curveball and someone, like, get very close to going down, but that was incredibly clean. Yeah, from the way she was speaking there, I thought we would maybe jump into another phase of her going all out in desperation. But I think we might have done it. Now we must decide our fate.
Only one other spawn of the dead god remains, the sibling who fought at your side. Her portion of the essence is not large, but she must make a choice.
You mean me, don't you? You're talking about the part of me that's the taint. The powers I've developed. Interesting. I wonder if Imoen was not actively present in the party, if she'll get teleported in here, or...
Do you intend to keep that essence, godchild? Or will you surrender it to your elder sibling?
If I could have gotten rid of it voluntarily, I would have done it a long time ago. Take it. I don't want it. I never wanted it.
As you wish, Imoen. So it is done. The only decision that remains then belongs to your sibling. The vast majority of the soul essences of the children of Baal, Lord of Murder, now belong to you, and you alone. You must now decide what to do with this power. Be wise. The choice is irrevocable.
Okay, so... this is like what we've been building up to a long time, and I think Ren has had a bit of growth, but decision. So a few things to ask. What are my options? Means that's the obvious one. Show through wisdom I fought to get here and I earned my place. Can I give up the taint easily like Imoen did? Why? What's going to happen to me? I think what Ren wants to do, if that's an option, is just to give up the taint, to destroy it completely, just to spite their father. That's probably not an option. We'll just ask 3 before we explicitly get our options. Can I give up the taint easily like Imoen did?
You may surrender that which you have always possessed. The rest still remains within Amelisson and must be dealt with. And there will always be consequences. I shall tell you your options.
Okay.
First, you may choose to surrender that portion of the essence which remains with you. It shall be given to Amelisson, and her soul, with all the essence it contains, shall be destroyed. You may think this brutal, but Amelisson has welded the essence to her own soul, foolishly, and there is no other way. The price of ambition is always high. Surrendering the essence will allow the gods to remove its evil taint and hide it well within the halls of Mount Celestial, forever preventing it from soiling further souls. You, Ballspawn, would be made immortal, free to continue your life with a destiny of your own choosing. The manipulations of gods will no longer be your concern, and your soul will be untainted.
And the other
Once
choice?
Melisandre's soul is destroyed and the essence released, you may accept it into yourself if you want it, and the throne of Baal will be yours to command. The taint of evil within the totality of Baal's essence is great, greater than anything you've ever known. It remains to be seen whether you will resist this evil or embrace it. Regardless, you will receive new enemies from amongst the gods. Surely Cyric, who usurped your sire's role at the Edict of Al the Overfather, would gain an interest in your power. Your future is unwritten, but once chosen, the gods know that it will be of significance to the universe. You will have few allies, and your trials will not end anytime soon. The choice is difficult, but these are your two options, Ballspawn. This is where your destiny is realized, and your future begins.
This is
What?
me. Is this what you must decide? It's your decision. It's all your call. There. I've said my piece.
Very quiet dialogue from Nira there. Hopefully that came through.
No, I haven't. I'm not done yet.
Okay, there we go.
I love you. There, I said it. I do, and I don't want you to become a god.
I want you to walk with me out of this place and go back to Katla, get a beer with me at the Copper Coronet. I want to have as many cats with you as Barad Ding had at the Hidden Refuge. I want you to yell at me about my wild surges when I'm 67. I want you to never regret the decision you make here. I want you to feel the same way about me as I feel about you. You make me happy, always, whenever I'm at your side. Nira. Head pats for Nira. She has such difficulty expressing herself so often.
No. Oh, say it is not so. We will no longer fight evil together. Oh, Boo will miss you. Forever shall we hang our heads in sadness, in remembrance of our great butt-kicking friend. Boo and I will say, we knew the hero, and people will of course not believe us, and maybe they will look at us more strangely than they do now. Or maybe not.
Minsk and Boo are such sweeties.
Were I in your shoes, I would lunge at this opportunity. It is no less than what I died attempting. Take it. Grab hold of what you deserve.
So, it's finally come down to this, has it? After all we've been through, right from Candlekeep and Baldur's Gate, through Irenicus and Bodhi and their plans. I wonder what Gorion would say now.
Me? I'll miss you if you go. You're more than a brother to me. You're everything. But who wouldn't want to see the plains? Who wouldn't want to see this through to the proper end?
It seems my promise to Gorion is at last at an end. It will be difficult to watch you move on to a higher state of being, if that is where you choose to go. But you hardly need my guidance any longer.
I only pray you make the decision that is right for you, Ren. Even Gorion would ask you to do no less.
The time has come to make your choice, Ballspawn. What is your wish?
Okay, so at the end of the day, simple. Two options to pick from, which does simplify this matter somewhat. I think what Ren would do, as I mentioned, Ren does feel that bit of temptation kind of to keep power, not like out of desire for the power itself, but just for the potential to see where it leads. That bit of uncertainty they've always felt about belonging somewhere, like keep moving on, keep pushing forward, not remain. Just gonna see what comes next. But I think what they also feel quite strongly is a resentment towards being in this state, a resentment towards their father, and a desire to just spite Baal as much as they can. If they can kind of reject the essence, I think it's a bit unfortunate that we only have the promises of the Solar, who I think I trust a bit more than I did when we first met them, but I'm still a bit suspicious of them and their motives. Like, we don't know for certain what will happen to the essence after we let go of it. We don't know for certain that Baal will not return. We don't know for certain it will be destroyed irrevocably. But I think Ren would take that chance. The chance to spite Baal completely, thumb your nose at fate, thumb your nose at destiny. And then, especially that little speech Nira gave, that was very, very sweet. And kind of, Nira is a character who has struggled with a lot of the same problems as Ren has struggled with. That feeling of motion, the lack of permanence, the lack of a place they belong. And Nira kind of stating that, no, they want to stay here, they want to stay in this moment, they want to stay with Ren, to find belonging here. I think that resonates quite deeply, actually. This is why I quite like Nira as a potential love interest added in the enhanced editions, because like her story with the well-made stuff synergizes really well with the Ballspawn stuff. And yeah, no, it works out. I think the decision Ren will make here is, I do not want the essence of Baal. Do what you will with it. I want to remain mortal.
Then you shall begin life anew, mortal, without the taint of your sire upon your soul, and the essence of Baal shall forever be hidden. You have done well, and freedom shall be your reward.
You're staying with me instead of becoming a god? That's crazy. You're insane. Insane. Guess that's why I love you. And then, you know, that thing you do.
You turned down the very power I died seeking. And now what? Prance amongst the flowers? Happy to be mortal? Bah! Pardon me if we part ways as soon as this is done.
So you're going to stay immortal? Wow, after all that, we're going to end up on the road again. Must feel good, though, to have your own future ahead of you again, though, no?
Aye. And the first time around to pick our path since we left Candlekeep. I can't wait. And this also resonates with Ren. I really like this, because this isn't something we've seen too much from Immerwen, but it really does paint her as in kind of a similar mental state to Ren, like picking your own path, the self-determination, the destiny, the burden that places on you. I really like this as a piece of characterization.
Your decision has been made, Godchild. Now the act must be carried out. Prepare yourself.
Interesting. No comment from Jahira or Minsk there on that decision. Now, I'll be really curious to see, like, every different companion and kind of their dialogue here, because everyone had something to say for the initial decision. 3 of them, I suppose, love interest and then the 2 other Baal spawn, has something to say for this decision. I'm curious to see what someone like Nalia or Korgan would say in this situation.
Your divine essence slowly fades, and for a moment you feel empty, incomplete. It is frightening, but soon yields to a new sensation, one of hope. With your closest companions at your side, you are free to live out your mortal life, no longer a pawn of Baal's prophecy. The adventure draws to a close, but there will be more to come. Even as a mortal, you are to be looked upon in awe, and your power commands attention, both friendly and otherwise. Your life is yours, as are the trials to come. As years pass, tales of your exploits shall spread far and wide, and bards will sing your name along with heroes and villains of legend. Your life may be mortal, your time now finite, but the mark you have left upon the realms will endure.
Oh, we got epilogues. In the years following his resurrection by Ren, Sarevok never settled in any one place for long. In Badusk, he's said to have routed an army of invading orcs, displaying such fearsome power and rage that terrified locals weren't sure whom to fear more. In Westgate, he arrived as conqueror, brutally enforcing his will, only to mysteriously vanish months later. He acted like a man that did not know himself, and all the stories agreed that Sarevok was a tortured soul balancing between life and death, never to achieve either. Eventually, he disappeared, said to have assaulted the abyss itself, or even taken his own life. In truth, he journeyed to Karatur to bury his one true love, the warrior Tamako. He never returned, but the stories endure. Yeah, I don't think you ever mentioned Tamako, though she was a semi-important character in Baldur's Gate 1. She ended up betraying Sarevok to us and kind of causing his death in Baldur's Gate 1. I very much enjoyed the detail in that little cutscene we saw right at the start when I was going through portraits of various companions, and we saw Sarevok's portrait come in, and then as it fades back you see his old armor with the horns kind of fade in and his portrait change, which I thought was a very nice detail. Yeah. Poor Sarevok, but at least it seems he did end up moving on, hopefully ended up managing to make something of himself that wasn't, the ball spawn thing, because he was quite heavily shackled to that, even though he viewed it in a very different way to how Ren did. Pet the hamster. With the saga of the ball spawn closed, Minsk fulfilled a long-promised oath. He returned to Rashomon, hoping to regale the Ice Dragon Berserker Lodge with the tales of his deeds and earn a place within its hallowed halls. His words were not heeded. Every tavern in Faerun had a bard singing of the valiant ranger, his words were not needed, not heeded, very different. Every tavern in Faerun had a bard singing of the valiant ranger, and he was welcomed as a hero. First, eventually, he formed his own adventuring company, the Justice Fist, striking fear in the hearts and faces of evil until, in his advancing age, he set out across the realms and disappeared. And what of Boo? Well, what is Minsk without Boo? The two would never be separated, and some say they are together still, up amongst the stars where hamsters are giant and men become legends. Minsk keeps Minskin. Minsk is a very fun character. I like him a lot. I like Boo a lot too. I know they're probably the most iconic Baldur's Gate characters, and I can see why. They are quite excellent. Imoen. What of Imoen, the eternal child? She had long stood in the shadow of Ren, but she was her own person, and would find her fate where she pleased. She returned to Candlekeep for her time, a formidable skill at magic granting a greater appreciation for its tomes. It was smaller than she remembered, however, and she did not stay long. Later, she was seen in such vaunted company as Kelburn Blackstaff and Elminster, by all accounts encouraging them to not be such stick in the muds. I would say sticks in the mud as the pluralization there, but never mind. Her influence grew over time, and she may have founded bound to the Thieves Guild in what now operates all the way to Neverwinter. When asked of this, she always answered with a smile of purest innocence. Hey, I should say, it's just me, Imowen. Imowen kind of continues on. It's nice, again, she's able to kind of find her own thing, move on from the Bowl-spawn stuff, have her own way, and yeah, not able to return to Candlekeep though. Jaheira. The events of the Bowl-spawn saga affected Jaheira deeply. It was her duty to protect the greater balance of things, but in the years to come, she found an increased portion of that fighting occurring within her own mind. Witness to great change while in Ren's company, she'd become acutely aware of how fleeting life was, and how the loss of those she held dear ate away at her thoughts. In time, she would be known as a tireless champion of balance, one that sometimes acted in concert with the Harpers, and sometimes did not. Always, however, she remained distant and guarded, never staying long in any one place. Jaheira would cross the realms thrice over, but she never did return to Tethria or the Sword Coast. So Jaheira kind of goes on, stays kind of apart from the Harpers, which kind of makes sense. She would fairly split kind of over the course of the game, so it makes sense she doesn't reconcile there. Even if Elminster kind of supports her path and kind of keeps her going down it, and the Harpers are no longer actually hunting her. Of course, Khalid and everything that happened there affected her quite greatly. Nira travelled back to the north, stopping at inns and taverns along the way, always listening as bards wove tales both true and false of her adventures with Ren. When she reached the High Forest, she was welcomed back as a hero, and personally congratulated by Turlung the Treant. Ren soon joined her, sometimes going their own ways, and sometimes reuniting with their old friends and companions. They wandered Faerun. Though the Order of Eight Staves was no more, Nira and Ren often found themselves opposing the machinations of Thay. One of Nira's greatest feats was the sinking of 3 Thane slaver ships single-handedly, an act that drove the Red Wizards to flee the city of Melvort. One day, Ren woke up and found that Nira was gone. She had left no note, given no sign she meant to leave. Ren only smiled, for he knew her destination, and in a few weeks' time, he followed her there. I am quite happy that Nira's kind of able to go back home to High Forest. There's something she talked about in the first game, something she talked about here, kind of how she left her home, pretty much fled her home after some wild magic accidents. So it's nice that she got to go back. Now, unfortunately, bots in chat again. Give me a moment. I notice the bots are now graduated from talking about best viewers to AI viewers, which somehow seems strictly worse. And the credits, and some concept art it looks like. Yeah, we'll just let the credits play. Appreciate hard work everyone has done here. That was a very good game. Hardly the most controversial take, but I reckon it is true. Oh, look at that, rendering stuff. That is a fun camera angle. Like, it's not something you normally see because we are sitting on very fixed angles almost all the time. I am curious. I reckon once we get through the credits, I'll probably reload back and have a look at kind of the other endings just to see what changes. There is also not Demiurge. Demiurge is entirely different. The Demogorgon, big old baboon monster. That's fun. I'm curious to see if the epilogue's different, and of course I want to see what the alternate cutscene is, but I quite like the ending that we got there. Look at that beastie with its tentacles. Its 2 heads. That final fight went a lot smoother than I was kind of expecting going in. Because, like I mentioned, I did a couple of test runs just those first couple of phases. And I think that just there was the cleanest I've ever actually seen that go. We didn't end up with anyone stunned out or confused or nearly dead. Yeah, that third phase was the really nasty one. I'm just skipping that with the spike traps was definitely the way to go, because once she teleports back and she starts sending summon after summon after summon, it makes it really difficult to engage her. I'm curious kind of what other strategies could possibly have worked there. I mean, just stacking up a bunch of summons on the north side of the map to trap her when she teleports in, like a bunch of swords along the plantar, and just try and keep her bogged down while you engage with that first wave of summons, or going up to fight is probably the way to do it. The spike trap strategy would only really work if you have a thief in the party, or thief, bard, rogue type character who can get that particular high level ability, and even then only if you've actually gone into that high level. And so, if Runner was a different class, I would have needed to come up with an entirely different strategy. I think the sword method might have worked, though. Back to the solo concept. I'm just curious if the concept art's going to keep looting. I might make the credits go slightly faster if I can. Because concept art is interesting. Yeah, these credits are quite slow. Let's go through all the various BioWare people. Thank you very much, all the many artists and animators. And, of course, all the various money people. The money stuff is important. Special thanks. Testers. Interplay audio people, sound design, music. Music in this game was pretty fun. I think some of the tracks that really stood out for me were the weirder ones. I really liked the Pirate Town theme. That was a fun track. And quite different to a lot of the big classic fantasy orchestra stuff that a lot of the game was. But it very much stuck out. I'm curious what happens if I hit replay, if it just kicks me back to the start, but click done. Yep. Back to the menu. So, I want to see what that other ending would be. Okay, so we're back at this quick save. That's cool. Slowed, we just need to do this final encounter again.
Hi.
Which hopefully goes just about as easy as it did previously.
Okay.
You are stronger than
We'll just skip through dialogue and stuff the second time around.
Your
Get
destiny.
to what we want to see.
Let's finish this now.
Everyone
once and for
runs
all.
forward.
To the victor go the spoil.
Okay, Serval.
You point,
Mince.
I punch.
Let's see if this goes as cleanly. What are you summoning this time? Slayer Shadows. Yeah, you know, thinking about it, I don't think I mentioned this last time, but the fact she's summoning all these shadows here, I think that does confirm, I guess as much as it needed confirming, I was quite certain of it. It seemed the obvious conclusion that the various shadows we saw around in odd spots this campaign were in fact agents, spies, servants of Amela-san. Because those kept cropping up, and it was never actually explicitly addressed, was it? And I'm fairly certain that's the takeaway we're meant to have there.
What's up?
Yeah, so Amela-san's attacking Ren. Protection for magical weapons.
Nature's servant.
I mean, we know this is the end, so let's just get everyone's attacks out and ready.
Next time.
Yep, Slayer Shadow got Vorpal hit. That's fun.
What do you wish?
Yeah, you guys, another great whirlwind attack. Just keep up the DPS. down she goes.
Enough.
Yeah, and let's just skip forward to the
You
decision.
will do nothing, Amelisan, but accept your
Down
fate.
she goes.
The time that was mentioned, only one other spot. Do you intend to keep the vast majority of
so-
the soul essences of the children of Baal, Lord of Murder?
I mean,
now
let's just
belong
ask one of
to
these
you,
other ones.
and
Does this give us different dialogue?
you
Why?
must now
What's going to
decide.
happen to me?
There are consequences with all decisions. This one, however, is unique in its scope. I will attempt to explain it as best I can.
Okay, yeah. Same effect, just a bit less information on route.
First, you... So, you...
And my other choice.
the...
No, I love you.
Boo and
So,
The time has
Yeah,
come to
so,
make
let's
your
see.
choice, Baldur.
I will chain the essence of Baldur as my right, and become a power of the plains.
As you wish. Though the thought of you succumbing to the temptations of Baal's foul taint brings me no pleasure. We shall see what manner of power you become in time.
So, this is it, huh? Everything we've been through, and then you become a god, and it's over. I guess I'm not surprised, but disappointed? Yeah, I'm a little disappointed. Farewell, Ren.
yes! You have achieved what I could not in life. With luck, you will tear a streak of blood across the skies that the gods will not soon forget. How I wish I could join you.
Oh, I don't know why. I don't know if the microphone actually picked that up. It was quite stifled, but Starbucks' little yes there, that got a little giggle out of me. That was a little bit unexpected. Servok, you're meant to desire this for yourself. Stop being so happy for me by proxy.
good luck. I'll miss ya. Although, somehow I just know we'll see each other again. Maybe I'll get you out of trouble again. You never know.
Your decision has been made, Godchild. Now the act must be carried out. Prepare yourself.
So same 3 for that ending too. The 2 Ballspawn and the love interest. Again, very curious to see what other companions would say.
Damn you! No! I'm too strong!
Same cutscene. Same big explosion. This, however, should be
Your
different.
mortal essence crumbles as you embrace your fate and take the legacy of Baal as your own. You welcome the divine power and feel your dark influence flow over all that you know. The Abyss welcomes you, and you know you can shape it to your darkest desires. All of your enemies have been crushed, but there will be more to come. You are one of many in the crowded plains, but you are certain to destroy any challenge. You have stolen the destiny of a god, and none shall stand in your way. In time, all will know your terrible name. Your tyranny shall be renowned, your strength and guile legendary. You are the Ballspawn, Lord of Murder, and the mark you have carved upon the realms shall never fade.
Let's see what the epilogues are. So, yep, all the same here for Saravok. Army of Orcs, Conqueror who mysteriously vanished, torch soul balancing between life and death, never to achieve either. Eventually journey to Karatur. Mince. Let's see. Yep, all seems to be the same. Yep, return to the Dragon Berserker Lodge. Every tavern in Faerun had a bard singing the name of the valiant ranger. He was welcomed as a hero. Still up amongst the stars, where hamsters are giants and men become legends. Imoen. Yep, same deal here. Helbin Blackstaff and Elminster, encouraging them to be not such sticks in the mud. Yeah, Jaheira keeps journeying. Now, this one is almost certainly going to be different though, because we are not going to be here. Nira travelled back to the north, stopping at inns and taverns along the way, always listening happily as bards wove tales, both true and false, of her adventures with Ren. When she reached the High Forest, she was welcomed back as a hero, and personally congratulated by Turlong the Treant. Afterwards, Nira turned to Arm to reunite with the surviving wild mages of the Hidden Refuge, thinking she would find happiness in their company. But Nira is always restless and powerful. Soon she departed, making her way to the Moon Sea. With the help of a wild surge or two, she sank 3 docked Thane slaver ships single-handedly, driving the Red Wizards from the city of Melvont. This attracted Thay's attention, and Nira found herself hounded once again by the Red Wizards. She enjoyed it for a time, and at one point even found herself in an alliance of convenience with Zas Tham. But eventually, she returned to the Sword Coast, where she lived the rest of her days with her friends and her memories. Oh, it's nice that Nira still gets a happy ending. Like, even if Ren's not there, she still, she made some other friends, other members of the party, and things work out well. So, and the other wild mages too. So she managed to find them again, reunite with the mages from the Hidden Refuge. That is nice. Yeah, here we are, same deal. I am curious, what happens if I hit replay? Replays the credits. I thought it'd be like a reload your save option, but no, that is not what that is trying to indicate. And yeah, that is the end of Throne of Baal, and the end of Baldur's Gate 2. That was a wonderful, wonderful game. It improved a lot, I think, on a lot of the stuff done in Baldur's Gate 1. It is curious to see some of the differences, though. Like, something that came up a couple of times, especially early on, but kind of dropped off a bit and I kind of stopped doing. So I don't even know how much it was just a situation of, like, it became less viable with saves increasing, but charming and dominating characters to get unique dialogue and quest outcomes. That was something that I noticed happened a lot in Baldur's Gate 1 and something I did a lot in Baldur's Gate 1. I got a lot of use out of Charm Person. But Baldur's Gate 2, that didn't come up nearly as often. Like, I'm certainly noticed if you've been watching through this that there were a few times I tried to charm someone and kind of they'll just snap back to aggro immediately, kind of when the story needed it. We did get that one situation in Nali's initial quest in the castle. There was a hostile guy who'd been mind controlled, and we had to fight him. But then we mind controlled him back, and unique dialogue, unique outcome, a bunch of XP, good ending for doing that. But Baldur's Gate 1 had a lot of situations like that. The other thing too, which I've mentioned before in Baldur's Gate 1 to Baldur's Gate 2, was the prevalence of using stone to flesh scrolls and spells. That plot point only came up once right and towards the end of Throne of Baal. Baldur's Gate 1, that was a point they reused a few times. But no, that was very, very fun as a game. I never did see what happens when you run out of high-level abilities, because we never got there. Our mages just capped out before the end of the game. Which I suppose does mean the XP curve was, well, it worked out pretty well for us. If we'd been doing everything though, like all companion quests and stuff, we would definitely have reached the point where you ran out of things to level up. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the high level abilities in their entirety are a Baldur's Gate thing, not a D&D thing. It's kind of, there's something they came up with in the first point to help extend the level curve out, to make a campaign of this length actually work when you keep allocating XP to everyone. I mean, one of the disadvantages of XP-based system rather milestone systems in RPG leveling methods, but whatever, that's an entirely different discussion. I really like TTRPGs. Just as a piece of RPG history, I was very, very happy to get the chance to play this. It has been quite something. I am not much of a Dungeons & Dragons person. The closest I get is Pathfinder, which is, you know, quite close evolutionary. There's enough crossover I was able to recognize a lot of stuff. I'm familiar enough with TTRPGs as a space to pick up other stuff through context. And, like, stories, associations, stuff like that. As just a foundational CRPG, though, I can really see why CRPGs became so established as a genre. They're not exactly big, they're not FPSs or anything, but yeah, no. You know, Baldur's Gate, these games, something really impressive was done here. And yeah, I know, kind of rambled through most of my thoughts now, I think. Anything else really wanted to mention? Oh yeah, I hate dead magic zones. They are awful. The balance is something that's a bit curious here, especially how important magic sometimes is and how bad, mages can be in other context situations. Like that final boss fight there, the mages helped a bit with the summons, but almost all of the actual killing just had to end up coming from melee people who can walk up and just deal non-elemental damage easily. Like really high spell resist checks and stuff just neutralize certain party members outright. Then there's other situations, like in the dead magic rooms we encountered in that bloody maze, where the mages really seem suddenly far, far more needed than the melee folks. I guess it all just comes down to a counterbalance, and if I can say one thing for the game, they did do a good job of making different classes and different abilities and different roles useful at different points right through the level curve, from beginning to end. I do think, however, that's going to be it for Baldur's Gate 2. I haven't been streaming all too long today. I might go ahead and just play a little bit of something else for the moment. However, I will probably cut the VOD here, just so things end up separate when it ends up going on YouTube. So for the sake of any YouTube people out here watching this, watching the VOD after the fact, yeah, thank you very much for making it through here to the end, listening to my final ramblings. I'll hope to see you all at some future point, another day, another time. Thank you once again, and I hope you've enjoyed Baldur's Gate 2.